This is Hair by Quelly, and you are tuned into the juice.
HairByQuelly, mom, stylist, and entrepreneur. Appreciate you for pulling up on me. What's up with you?
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So look, for everybody who don't know, you know what I mean? Like I said, you are a hairstylist, you're an entrepreneur. Tell everybody where you from.
I'm from New Orleans, Algiers.
So what was it like growing up in Algiers for you?
I grew up in a household with both of my grandparents. They were both entrepreneurs. They owned a restaurant on Tash Street. What could I say? It was cool. It wasn't bad.
So by you seeing two entrepreneurs in a household, did that inspire you like firsthand to really be like, you know, I'm not going to work for nobody. I'm gonna do it on my own?
I never really thought about that. It's just something that really happened over time. That I just chose to become an entrepreneur. Really, it just fell in my lap.
What you mean?
I honestly never thought about doing hair. I just knew how to do it, but I never, growing up, I never was like, oh, I want to be a beautician. So me being a salon owner and everything, I never thought about doing that. It's just stuff that happened. Like every time I just step out on faith and just did something, it's like it just fell right in my lap, like it was just my calling to do those things.
So what happened to the point where you're like, all right, I do hair now? First, how long have you been doing hair?
I always knew how to do hair since I was little. Like I'll watch TV. If I go get my hair done, I'll see whatever beautician's doing, and basically I'll ask my grandpa. I'll be like, Papa, I want to go to the store and buy rollers and whatever I seen them use in the hair salon. I used to get it and just try it on myself, and my hair used to come out right or whatever. So growing up, a lot of girls would ask me who did my hair in high school and college, and I'll just be like, me. So, after a while, people start asking me to do their hair. Like I said, it was never my passion. It wasn't nothing I wanted to do or ever thought about doing. It's just something I knew how to do. And after I had my son, it was like survival of the fittest, I guess. So it was like I had to figure out how I'm going to take care of this child and, how I'm going to make more money and do what I have to do for myself as a woman. So that's what kind of pushed me towards doing hair. And I didn't, I just became real successful at it. And later on, I ended up getting a salon. So
before you actually went full steam with your hair, what were you doing?
I was working at Waffle House and Popeyes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was going to college. I went to Southern in Baton Rouge for 3 years for apparel merchandise, and I had a minor in business marketing. So.
Okay, so give me one of your biggest life lessons growing up.
Let's see, one of my biggest life lessons. It's like life really taught me. When I went to college, it was like I basically had to figure out stuff for myself. I didn't have like my parents helping me with anything. Really no guidance whatsoever. So it was just like me just out here learning, making mistakes, discovering what's right and wrong for myself. So I guess just living by experience.
So what was the first thing you did when you felt like you were gonna take like doing that serious? What was the first big step you made?
Well, enrolling in school. Because at first when I was going to Southern, every day I'll just be in class and me and Curry would look at each other and be like, I don't think we supposed to be here, and just walk out of class and go sit by the lake. And just be like, why am I here? What is my purpose of being here? Like, I just felt like I didn't belong there out those 3 years. And I had scheduled an interview to go to Paul Mitchell. And when I went, I don't know, I just felt like I belonged there. Like, it was my purpose. It was just for me. So I just proceeded and I went through with it. And it's been good ever since.
And how did you go from like doing hair to now owning your own salon and spa?
I was working at the shop Hair Fetish with CDB, and I don't know, I just felt like it was just time for me to grow. So I was working, one of my coworkers at the time, I was on Craigslist just looking for different spots, and she was just like, you want to get this spot together? And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, not really thinking of it, but after a while, we wound up parting ways, and I had received full ownership. Like I said, at first, I always was looking to just get a suite, because I always was like, I didn't want to work with nobody. I just wanted to work in the suite by myself and build my brand, but I never thought about, like, owning a shop or nothing like that. Like, I didn't think I was ready. But over time, it's like I said, everything just fell in my lap and just happened. I just took on the responsibilities. Like, I just felt like it was my calling to do it.
And as of July 18th, 2018, you opened Visionary Suites, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does it feel to be still in business 3 years and through a pandemic and everything else?
It feels good. It really feels good.
And what is something you could tell somebody who's looking to do the same, like to follow in your footsteps here?
Don't give up. You have to learn a lot of self-discipline, and you have to sacrifice a lot. So if that's you like going out every weekend, you can't go out every weekend with your friends because you have to see the bigger picture. Like, you have to sacrifice a lot. Like, for 2 years, I stayed with my mom just so I could finish my business and purchase me a home. So at the time, it probably seemed aggravating, but you always have to think of the bigger picture and keep working towards your dreams and everything that you want to do.
So what's 3 things you like about doing hair, and what's 3 things you don't like?
I can't say there's nothing that I don't like about doing hair. It's time consuming, but at the same time, I love my clients. It's always good energy. It's really the people that keep me going, and it's my gift. So when I'm doing hair, I never really feel like I'm working. It just feel like, I'm just doing it, like I'm just moving around. So it's not like a job to me. And let me see what else. The third thing, and I guess my coworkers, they keep me going also. Everybody is so talented and creative, and we feed off each other energy. So that also helps too.
So what do you feel like separates you from the average hairstylist in New Orleans?
I never really thought about that. I would say everybody different. I just have my own mind. I'm creative. Nobody thinks like I think. Everybody have their own thing. I don't compare myself to other hairstylists in New Orleans at all, because I feel like what's for me is for me, and what's for them is for them. Even if we all doing the same thing, I'll still support other hairstylists and everything. But I just stay in my lane.
All right. So looking back at your life, what would you tell your younger self from 10 years ago about life now?
Lord, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to take a second on that one. Because I feel like everything, like, far as my mistakes, they made me who I am today. So I don't really regret anything that I did. At first I had like a problem getting used to the fact that I had a child young. But I feel like, you know, over time my son made me who I am. If it wasn't for him being in my life, I probably would have never thought about being a hairstylist or doing anything that I do now. Like, I probably still would be working at Waffle House, or probably would have been a social worker or whatever I was going to school for, and probably not even be successful. You know, just graduating, doing something that I really don't want to do. So, like I said, like, as far as my mistakes or whatever I made, what would I tell myself?
It don't have to be your mistakes. Like I would tell myself to listen to older people more and what they tell you.
I never did listen.
I never did listen either. That's what I'm saying. But like looking at it now, like you're looking at it just as simple as when they tell you like the people you be running with going to be dead in jail, and you just that shit go over your head. But you look at it now, you be like, you know what I'm saying, that's right. So I just tell myself like they not trying to tell you nothing stupid. Like, you know, like really take heed to what they saying. Everything don't gotta be true, but most of the time they do be trying to put some game on you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have that. Like I said, like all my friends, everybody I hung around was positive. So.
Well, I mean, no, I just gave an example, but I mean, like, it don't have to be like you're not telling yourself nothing bad. It don't gotta be, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'll get back to that question.
Alright. Well, I know you're gonna say your son because you just spoke on it, but I want to know your top 3 inspirations and motivations.
Yeah, of course, my son. My family, and my motivation. All I can really say is my family. And younger girls who I meet now, who's in the hair industry, just young entrepreneurs, they motivate me to keep going and to be better, because, you know, I see people looking up to me and it's like, damn, like, it's crazy to me. And who else? That's all I can say. My son, he is my family, but everybody in my family keep me going, and just other girls around the area, other hairstylists.
So I'm guessing like you got a lot of support from your family through everything.
Yeah.
That's big, real talk, especially like when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, a lot of my family, like my cousins and stuff, do makeup. Everybody do something, and we all push each other, motivate each other. We'll call each other like, hey, like, what you doing? What kind of content you creating? You know, just to make yourself different. You know, just keep branding yourself, keep pushing towards whatever you're trying to do.
And you sell wigs and accessories too, right?
Yeah, I brought them today too.
So, you brought what?
Everything.
The accessories and stuff? Alright, facts. So, how big is it to have multiple streams of income?
It's good because you don't have to really do too much. Like at first, when I first started working, I used to work like 7 days a week. And just to pay rent for $630 off of one stream of income, but now it's just like I could actually chill and I don't have to do too much because I have created different sources. So it's like if somebody hit me up, it's just less stress, less work, it's easier. It's hard for as managing your money because I didn't have a lot of loans or nothing. Most of the stuff I did was out of pocket. So it's just all about managing your money and everything. But it's good to have separate sources.
How important is it for your son to see you as a boss rather than a worker?
I want him to be a boss. Like, I don't want my son working for nobody. I don't want none of my children, grandchildren, the generations after us. Like, I want all of them to be bosses, self-made, have property and everything, you know, just like the other people.
Yeah.
They set their children up for success. And I feel like as Black people, we don't always do that for our kids. Well, our generation growing up, our parents didn't have knowledge towards certain things or access to certain stuff. Like, they didn't know about credit. Like, why it took us to, we made about 18 to learn about credit and taxes and building business credit and all this. They don't teach that in school. So I feel like all that's important. Nobody should want their children to work for nobody or to be a slave, building somebody else's dream when they could live their best life and do what they want in life.
That's facts. So where do you see yourself in 3 years?
Hopefully retired. Taking trips.
In 3 years? In
That's
3
what
years
I'm
you
working.
trying to retire?
Yeah,
Sheesh.
that's what I'm working
what's up.
towards.
Real talk.
That's what I want to do.
I hope I can retire in 3 years too.
You pray on it and keep working. You could. You could do whatever you want to.
I don't know. I like the hustle, so that's probably not gonna happen.
No, if you imply that to whatever you doing, then I guarantee you keep praying and it's gonna happen.
So what's something your followers wouldn't know about you from looking at your Instagram?
Say they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
My personality. If you really know me, just crazy. That's all I can say. My personality, because I feel like online I don't really show that much. Like, I just post my hair, post whatever I have going on.
Yeah, for the
And
most
just
part,
keep it
it's
moving.
all business.
Yeah, just keep it moving. But like personally, I don't put my personal life on there. But if I did, I feel like I know that more people would tune in. But
What's a quote you like to live by?
go hard or go home.
You did. And what would you like the viewers to take from this interview?
Just to keep whatever you want to do in life, just stay motivated. Don't give up. Stay focused. Do whatever it is. Don't set yourself to a certain standard or feel like everything is impossible. You can't do it. Create small goals that's gonna lead you to your big goals, and just keep following through. And you could do whatever you want to. It's just all about mindset.
So you have any plans, like are you venturing out and doing something else upcoming?
I have a lot of stuff that I want to do. I'm not gonna speak on it right now, but there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. I'll just say this: I do want to get into real estate.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna do that soon?
So I kind of did, but
Facts.
yeah.
That's fire. But nah, for real, I appreciate you for I appreciate you for pulling up your day.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem.